Alright, folks, quick question. What if I told you this little penny right here could be worth more than your car, your house, and maybe even your mother-in-law's vacation condo in Florida? Yep, we're talking about the 1961 D. Lincoln 1-cent penny, a small copper coin with a big secret. Believe it or not, one of these little guys was sold for a jaw-dropping $1.2 million. That's right, million, with an M. Who knew Abe Lincoln was such a baller? So today, I'm breaking down how a humble 1-cent coin turned into a millionaire and how you might have one hiding in your couch cushions. Stay tuned because this isn't just history, it's a money-making opportunity. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about why this penny is even worth more than the sandwich you skipped this morning. The D mint mark means it was minted in Denver. And let's be real, Denver knows how to make things that rock, get it? Rockies? Anyway, in 1961, millions of these pennies were made, so most of them aren't worth more than face value. But, and here's the kicker, rare errors, pristine condition, and historical demand make some of these pennies wildly valuable. One particular 1961 D penny in nearly perfect MS67 plus red condition, which basically means it's shinier than your Uncle Bob's forehead, sold for a whopping $1.2 million. Alright, so how do you know if you've got a gold mine in your penny jar? Here's what to look for. That bright, original shine like it just rolled off the mint truck. No scratches, dings, or coffee stains. Yes, I'm talking to you, Carl. This means the copper color hasn't changed or dulled. Think brand new copper pipes, double dyes, off-center strikes, or anything that makes it weird. Coin collectors love weird. Think of it like dating. Being different actually makes you more valuable. Alright, personal story time. So a few years ago, I was helping my grandma clean out her junk drawer. You know the one, with batteries that don't work, expired coupons from 2007, and 87 random keys that open absolutely nothing. And tucked in there was a 1961 D penny. I almost tossed it in the meh pile, but something told me to look it up. Turned out it wasn't the $1 million one. But I got it graded, and it was still worth $400 bucks. Not bad for a coin that was just chillin' next to a dried-up glue stick. Moral of the story? Don't underestimate the power of that little copper circle in your pocket. Now if you're thinking, I don't know the first thing about coin collecting, don't worry, I got you. Here's what to do. Check your change every day. Yes, even that crumpled up $1.87 at the bottom of your gym bag. Get a magnifying glass or use your phone's zoom to spot details. Look up coin values on sites like PCGS or NGC. And if you find something interesting, get it graded. It's like a credit score for coins. So there you have it. Your everyday 1961 D Lincoln penny could actually be a secret millionaire in disguise. It's just waiting for you to notice it. And who knows? Maybe the next time you're digging for quarters in your car's cup holder, you'll find more than just sticky gum wrappers and old receipts. If you learned something new, had a laugh, or now feel oddly inspired to raid your piggy bank, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and tap that notification bell so you never miss out on more money-making coin tips. 1966 No Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny that's turning heads and breaking bank accounts in the coin collecting world. I'm about to share what makes this penny so darn valuable, how you might already have one, and a funny little story about the time I almost vacuumed up a rare coin by accident. Yep. True story. Grinning face with sweat, so let's start with the basics. My fellow treasure hunters. What's the deal with the 1966 No Mint Mark penny? Back in 1966, the US Mint was trying to reduce coin hoarding. People were stashing coins like it was the apocalypse. So what did the Mint do? They left off mint marks for a few years, yep, on purpose. That's why you won't see a D for Denver or S for San Francisco on 1966 pennies. But here's the twist, most of these coins are worth, like, a penny. Maybe two if you're lucky. But some rare ones? Oh baby. Due to freak errors during minting or ultra-rare conditions, a few of these bad boys are now fetching up to $1.5 million at auction. And no, that's not a typo. 1. $5 million. For a coin that probably got stuck between couch cushions at some point in the 80s. Okay, here's the collector's secret sauce. We're talking double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets. Basically the coin equivalent of a factory oopsie. If your 1966 penny looks like it just came out of a time machine? Jackpot. Not just any red, coins that still shine that bright coppery red from the day they were minted? Super desirable. Collectors love the story and mystery behind the 1966 no-mint mark penny. Combine that with a tiny supply of pristine ones, and boom. Price goes through the roof. My. Almost lost $1 million penny. Story. So here's the personal part. A few years back, I was cleaning out my grandpa's old tool shed, you know, the kind that smells like WD-40 and mystery metal, and I found this old glass jar full of pennies. Naturally, I was like, meh, I'll throw it in the Coinstar. But before I did, something told me to just look through them. Probably my inner Indiana Jones. Smiling face with sunglasses. Sure enough, there it was. A 1966 penny, no mint mark, super clean. I got excited, ran to my laptop, and started comparing it to listings online. Some were selling for a few bucks, some for a few thousand, and one listed as sold at $1.50 million. Now mine didn't end up being that one. But can you imagine if I just vacuumed it up? Faced with tears of joy, I still check every penny now like I'm on a treasure hunt. White heavy check mark. Look for a 1966 date with no mint mark under the year. White heavy check mark. Check the condition. Bright red color, little wear, no scratches. White heavy check mark. Look for errors. Use a magnifying glass or take it to a coin shop. White heavy check mark. Get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC if you think it's special. A professionally graded coin is like a passport for value. It makes buyers take it seriously. So what did we learn today, friends? That a plain oil penny could be your golden ticket. That your junk drawer might be more like a treasure chest. And most importantly, that you should never underestimate coins from the 60s. Imagine finding a 1966 penny, getting it graded, and watching it sell at auction for more than the price of a brand new Lamborghini. That's not just pocket change, that's life-changing. If you learned anything today, or at least got a laugh out of my nearly tragic vacuum story, go ahead and smash that like button like it owes you $1 million. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more awesome tips on coin collecting, hidden treasure stories, and how to turn that spare change into serious cash. Moneybag. And drop a comment below if you've ever found a weird coin. I love hearing those stories. 1969 D. Lincoln 1-cent penny has been valued at $1.7 million. That's not a typo, that's a house, and a boat, and a lifetime supply of tacos. So grab your coin jars, call your parents, or raid the couch cushions, because after today's video, you might just discover you've been sitting on a retirement plan in copper disguise. Let's get into it. First of all, what's so special about this penny? This coin was minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark just below the year on the front. At first glance, it looks like your average, boring oil penny. But oh no, this one's got a juicy twist. Well, most 1969 D pennies are just pennies. But a tiny number were struck with an insane error. A doubling on the obverse, that's the heads side for us non-coin nerds. This is what's known as a double die. It makes everything on Lincoln's face, the words, and the date look slightly doubled. Like the coin had a little too much to drink and saw double. Clinking beer mugs. But wait, it gets better. The Philadelphia Mint had a few double die errors too, but they didn't have mint marks. So when someone found a Denver one with this error, collectors went wild like it was Black Friday at a coin show. Now, only a few of these 1969 D double die pennies have ever been authenticated, which makes them ultra rare, and collectors are willing to fork over millions to get their hands on one. If you ever find a 1969 penny with AD and some funky double letters on Liberty, or In God We Trust, don't spend it on gum. Get it authenticated. A couple years ago, I was helping my uncle clean out his garage. You know, that black hole of forgotten stuff, tangled cords, half-used paint cans, and yes, a giant coffee can full of old pennies. He says, "Take it, maybe there's something good in there." I laughed and said, "Unless there's $1 million penny, I'll use them to balance my wobbly table." Well, guess what? One of those pennies was from 1969. I looked closer, Denver Mint. My heart skipped a beat. I squinted harder, no doubling, just Abe Lincoln giving me side-eye.s. Oh yeah, it wasn't the one, but that was the day I started actually paying attention to coins. And now here we are, me, talking to you, making sure you don't miss your $1 million moment. Okay, so let's talk cold, hard cash. Why heavy check mark a regular 1969 D penny? Worth 1 cent. Maybe 2 if you're lucky. But a genuine 1969 D double-die penny in good condition? $500,000 to $1.7 million, depending on how sharp and shiny it is. Face screaming if fear collectors drool over coins in mint state condition. That means minimal scratches, bright color, and nice clean doubling. There are even stories of people getting these coins graded by PCGS or NGC, and walking away with a check that would make your bank account blush. It means that the next time you see a penny, don't just toss it into the tip jar or lose it in your car's cup holder. Check the year. Look for the mint mark. And if it says 1969D, grab a magnifying glass and see if Lincoln's been doing the wave. You never know, you might just be holding a tiny copper jackpot. Raising hands and hey, if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins that could change your life, hit that subscribe button right now. Bell, we've got plenty more treasure hunting tips, coin collecting secrets, and $1 million stories coming your way. Also, leave a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin, or thought you did. I want to hear your coin stories, the good, the bad, and the ones that turned out to be Canadian pennies. Face with tears of joy. 1971 No Mint Mark Lincoln Penny, and why it's become one of the hottest tickets in the coin collecting world. Moneybag fire, so let's get the basics down real quick. The 1971 Lincoln Penny looks pretty normal. Honest Abe's on the front, the Lincoln Memorial's on the back, and there's no mint mark under the date. That just means it was made in Philadelphia. Now here's the twist. Most of these pennies are just regular oil pocket change. But a tiny handful, we're talking needle in a haystack levels, have special traits. And those rare versions? Oh yeah, they're worth a fortune. Like, buy a house and still have change fortune. This is where things get juicy. The $1.8 million 1971 penny isn't just rare, it's wildly unique due to a double die error. That's when the coin is struck twice by the die, but slightly off. It causes the date, letters like "In God We Trust," and "Liberty" to look all shadowy and thick. Basically, it's like your penny had one too many cups of coffee and started seeing double. Hot beverage face with tears of joy now. Only a tiny number of these double die errors were ever released into circulation. Most were caught and melted down. But a few? They slipped through the cracks and are now chilling in somebody's change jar. Maybe even yours. Let me tell you a quick personal story. True story. By the way, I was at a gas station, grabbing a soda and a snack, and I pulled out exact change to feel fancy. I handed over 4 quarters and a handful of pennies. The cashier looked down and said, "You sure you want to spend this one?" It was a shiny 1971 penny with no mint mark. I just laughed and said, "What, is it magic or something?" He told me he was a coin collector, and after squinting at it, he actually offered me $50 for it on the spot. And I said no. Face with tears of joy, no. I thought he was just trying to mess with me. Later that night I googled it. And guess what? It might have been one of those rare double-die pennies. Loudly crying face, I couldn't sleep for 2 days. Okay, so now you're probably wondering, how do I know if my 1971 penny is the golden ticket? No mint mark under the date, so Philadelphia Mint. Doubling on the words Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date. Use a magnifying glass or even your phone's camera zoom. Get in there like you're solving a mystery on CSI, Coin Squad. Magnifying glass tilt to left, man detective, and if it looks suspiciously cool, don't go spending it at the dollar store. Have it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. That's the ticket to getting the big bucks. So what's this baby actually worth? Well, in 2023, one of these rare 1971 no-mint mark double-die pennies sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $1.8 million. That's not a typo, $1.8 million. Money with wings, and prices for these rarities keep climbing, especially as more people realize how rare they really are. The coin market is booming, my friends. Like crypto, but shinier. Smiling face with sunglasses. So, the next time you see a penny on the ground, don't walk past it. Pick that little guy up and check the date. You never know when a 1-cent coin could turn into a life-changing jackpot. And hey, if you've got old coins lying around, now's the perfect time to start hunting. You don't need to be an expert, just curious and a little lucky. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and turn on notifications so you never miss a chance to learn about coins worth crazy money. I've got more videos coming up about valuable coins hiding in plain sight. Don't miss out. 1979 D Lincoln penny could fetch you a jaw-dropping $1.3 million today. No, it's not made of gold, but there's something even rarer going on here, and that's what we're diving into today. Hi, I'm your friendly neighborhood coin enthusiast, and if you've ever thought, hey, maybe there's treasure in my junk drawer, well, buckle up, my friend, because you just might be sitting on a fortune. And yes, I do have a story involving a bag of chips, a penny, and a garage sale that made me start checking all my change. But more on that in a minute. So let's get into it. What's so special about the 1979 D Lincoln penny? First off, D stands for Denver Mint, where it was produced. Over 4.1 billion of these were made that year. Yep, billion with a B. So why in the world would one be worth $1.30 million? Because not all pennies are created equal, my friend. It comes down to errors, rarity, and condition. Some of these pennies were struck with insane minting mistakes, like off-center strikes, double dies, or even transitional errors, where the penny might have accidentally been struck on a different metal planchet. And when a rare error meets a coin that's in almost perfect condition, think MS 67 or higher on the grading scale, that's when the price goes sky high. That's what happened to this one particular 1979 D penny. Now let's talk about the money. One of these rare error pennies sold at auction for a staggering $1.3 million. Why? Because it had a rare double die error, was struck on a zinc-coated steel planchet instead of copper, and was graded MS 68. That's like finding a unicorn at a flea market. These kinds of errors are 1 in a billion, literally. That's why collectors and investors go crazy for them. So here's the thing. A few years ago, I was at this garage sale, hunting for old records and vintage mugs, the usual. I paid for my stuff, got some change back, and didn't think much of it. Later, I reached for a penny to open a stubborn bag of chips, don't ask, and noticed it looked off. Long story short, I googled it and realized I had a rare 1990 NOS proof penny. Sold it later for a cool $2,000. Not $1 million, but hey, it was enough to upgrade my coffee machine and buy a lot of chips. That moment lit a fire in me. Ever since, I've been checking every coin I come across. I'm not saying you'll find $1 million penny overnight, but then again, you just might. Alright, so how can you tell if your 1979 D penny is worth something? Here's what to look for. Look for doubling in the lettering or Lincoln's features. Some rare 1979 D pennies were struck on the wrong metal. Get it weighed. The shinier and crisper the details, the better. Look for minimal wear and sharp edges. Professional grading. If you think you've got something special, send it to a reputable grading company like PCGS or NGC. Invest in a good magnifying glass. Your eyes will thank you, and so will your wallet. So the next time you're digging through your change jar, or you drop a penny and think, it's just a cent, think again. That little copper coin could be your ticket to millionaire status. No lottery tickets, no reality shows, just old-fashioned coin magic. If today's video made you curious, or at least made you check your pockets, go ahead and smash that like button, and subscribe for more juicy stories about coins that are secretly worth a fortune. I drop weekly tips, tricks, and coin collecting strategies, especially for folks just like you who want to turn everyday change into big money. 1984 No Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. So grab your coffee, pull out that old coin jar from the back of your closet, and let's dive into the wild, weird, and kinda hilarious story of how a 1-cent coin became a millionaire. Alright, so here's the deal. The 1984 Lincoln penny was made in Philadelphia, and as tradition goes, coins from Philly don't carry a mint mark. That's why this bad boy has no little letter under the date. Now, most of these pennies, worth exactly 1 cent. Maybe 2 if you're being generous. But there are a few special ones. And I mean really special. One in particular was recently sold for $1.5 million, and it's all thanks to a beautiful little mistake, a double die error on Lincoln's face and inscriptions. So let's get nerdy for a second. This rare penny has a major doubling on Lincoln's ear, his eye, and on the words like "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." It's like the coin had won too many cups of coffee and decided to double everything. These kinds of minting errors are super rare. Collectors go absolutely bananas for this stuff. And when a coin like this is in mint condition, we're talking shiny, untouched, and probably never spent on a vending machine snack, that's when the big bucks come in. And let's be honest, if I ever found one of these in my couch cushions, you'd better believe I'm doing cartwheels down the street yelling, "I'm rich!" The time I almost threw away a treasure, 5 to 6:30. Okay, real talk. A few years ago, I was helping my grandma clean out her basement. We found an old tin labeled "for laundry only," but inside, about 1,000 old pennies, smelling like time itself. I was this close to tossing it. Like, hand over trash can, about to dump the whole thing. But something told me, maybe just maybe, check a few first. And boom, I found a 1970s penny that ended up being worth $85. Not life-changing, but hey, it bought me lunch. Now, ever since then, I check every single penny I come across like I'm Indiana Jones. You never know what treasure might be hiding in plain sight. Back to the 1984 No Mint Mark penny. If you've got one, here's what to check. Look at Lincoln's ear. If it looks like he's got a ghost ear behind it, that's the doubling. Check "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." The letters should look like they've been stamped twice. And condition matters. If it's scratched up or looks like it's been through a blender, sorry, not quite millionaire material. If you think you've got a winner, take it to a professional coin grader or appraiser. Don't go selling it at a garage sale for 50 cents, okay? Trust me on that one. Grinning face with sweat. The humble little 1984 No Mint Mark penny that could be hiding in your pocket, purse, or under your car seat right now, and it could be worth $1.50 one coin, enough money to buy a house, a car, and still have some left over for a lifetime supply of tacos. Taco, this stuff happens more than you think. And if you're sitting on a collection of old coins thinking they're worthless, it's time to think again. I'm here every week dropping tips on coins worth serious money, showing you how to spot the winners, and helping you turn your pocket change into a gold mine. So don't miss out. Smash that like button if you learned something today. Drop a comment if you've ever found a rare coin or just want to say hi. Hit subscribe and turn on those notifications, because you never know which penny I'll talk about next that could make you a millionaire. 1994 No Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. And why this little copper-colored beauty might just make you a millionaire. I'm gonna break down why it's so valuable, what to look for, and I'll even share a personal story about how I almost threw away a rare coin while trying to pay for tacos taco. Yep, true story. So sit back, grab your coffee, or better yet, your old coin jar, and let's dig in. Man detective, alright, so let's talk about the 1994 Lincoln penny, specifically the No Mint Mark version. Now, most of these pennies were made in Philadelphia, which traditionally doesn't have a mint mark. So you might be thinking, wait a second, if most Philly coins have no mint mark, what makes this one worth $1.8 million? And that, my friends, is where things get juicy. Smirking face with monocle. So what makes the 1994 No Mint Mark penny so special? Let me break it down real quick. In 1994, billions, yes, billions, of pennies were minted, But a microscopic batch, like the needle in a haystack kind, had major minting errors. These include things like double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, and wrong planchet errors. We're talking the weird stuff coin collectors dream about. Now, the $1.8 million penny? That bad boy is a perfect storm. A 1994 no-mint mark penny with a dramatic double die. Obverse, super crisp condition, MS68 grade, and, most importantly, it's one of a kind. The coin sold through a private auction to a collector who, rumor has it, had been looking for this coin for over a decade. Talk about commitment. Magnifying glass tilted left light bulb. What should you look for? Now, you're probably wondering. Okay, but how do I know if I've got one? Here's what to look for in your 1994 no-mint mark penny. Easy. If it doesn't have a D or S under the year, it's a Philadelphia mint. If the letters or numbers look like they've been stamped twice or have a shadow, that's a good sign. No scratches, discoloration, or corrosion. Mint condition matters. If the coin looks like the design is slipping off the edge, bingo. It should weigh about 2.5 grams. But any noticeable difference could indicate a wrong planchet. Use a jeweler's scale and magnifying glass. You don't need FBI gear. Amazon will do just fine. Okay, quick story. This one still haunts me at night. A few years back, I was in line at this taco truck, best carnitas in town, by the way, taco fire, and I was short like 3 cents. So I pulled a few pennies out of my car's ashtray and handed them over without thinking. A week later, I was filming a video just like this, talking about double-die pennies, and something in my brain clicked. Wait, did I just spend a 1994 no-mint mark with a weird-looking date? I kid you not. I drove back to that taco truck and tried to buy back my change. Loudly crying face, the guy looked at me like I was trying to rob a bank with spare change. Check your coins before you spend them on tacos. As of this year, 2025, the most pristine 1994 no-mint mark penny sold at a private collector's auction for a jaw-dropping $1.80 million. Why? Because of its rarity, perfect condition, and the historical minting error. Even if yours isn't a $1 million coin, similar 1994 errors and lower grades have sold for. Not too shabby for a coin you might have vacuumed up last week, huh? The next time you're doing laundry, cleaning out your glove box, or digging in the couch for the remote, keep an eye out for that little copper coin. It might not just be a penny, it might be your retirement plan, your dream vacation, or that lake house you've been eyeing on Zillow. Desert island house. And hey, even if you don't find a $1 million penny today, it's still so much fun to treasure hunt. So if you love learning how to spot rare coins, make money from your change, or just enjoy a good coin story, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and ring that little bell so you don't miss the next time we uncover another pocket-sized fortune. And hey, leave a comment below if you've ever found a weird-looking coin or if you've accidentally spent one like I did. Grinning face with sweat, I'd love to hear your story. 1996 D Lincoln penny could actually be worth a jaw-dropping $1.7 million? Yep, that's 6 zeros. That's mansion money. That's quit your job and buy a llama money. Hey friends! Welcome back to the channel where we turn pocket change into potential paydays. I'm your friendly neighborhood coin whisperer. If you love finding hidden treasures in your junk drawer or between your couch cushions, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving deep into the story of the 1996 D Lincoln 1-cent penny, how a simple coin minted in Denver could be worth more than most people's houses, why collectors are shelling out big bucks for it, and how you might already have one and not even know it. Alright, let's talk about the 1996 D penny. On the surface, it looks just like every other Lincoln penny. Good old Abe sitting stoically, mint mark D under the year, copper-plated zinc composition. Nothing fancy, right? Wrong. Because a few of these pennies are not like the others. Somewhere in that year's minting madness, a rare error batch or two snuck through, coins with off-center strikes, double dies, missing clad layers, or crazy sharp details that make them stand out, like that one cousin at Thanksgiving who brings sushi instead of turkey. Collectors go bananas for unique features. And when a coin like the 1996 D shows up with insane errors or proof like quality straight from a business strike, the bidding wars begin. Now you're probably thinking, come on, how does one penny get valued at $1.7 million? Great question. One such penny, discovered by a coin collector, let's call him Dave, because that's actually his name, was sitting in an old cigar box in his late grandpa's garage. Dave almost spent a penny at a vending machine, until he noticed something odd. The coin looked unusually crisp. Like Instagram filter crisp. He got curious, got it graded by a professional service. Turns out it was a rare variety with an ultra-high mint state and a doubled die obverse. Long story short, it sold at auction for $1.7 million. I don't know about you, but I'd definitely spend more than one 1996 penny on sour candy at the gas station. I could have been walking around with a fortune in my pocket. Okay, so how do you know if you've got $1 million 1996 penny? Mint marked D under the date 1996. That means it was made in Denver. Look for doubling in the date, or the word Liberty. Check for sharp details or anything that looks unusual. Errors, misstrikes, weird coloration. Get it professionally graded if you think it's special. Companies like PCGS or NGC can confirm if your penny is legit. And hey, don't squint at it under your kitchen light. Get a magnifying glass or even one of those phone zoom lenses. You'll feel like Sherlock Holmes but with coins. So, moral of the story? Don't sleep on your pennies, my friends. That coin you're about to flick into the tip jar could be your ticket to early retirement, or at least to an all-you-can-eat buffet. True story, last year, I went through a jar of old coins from my grandma's attic. Found some wheat pennies, a silver dime, and one that was so shiny I could see my shocked face in it. No $1 million finds yet, but it kicked off this whole obsession, and look where we are now. Coins are like little time machines, each one has a story, and some of them are worth way more than face value. So take a minute, check your change, and who knows? You might be holding on to a hidden gem worth $1.7 million. 2007 D. Lincoln penny into a $1.60 million payday. Yep, you heard that right. $1.6 million for something you probably left in your car's cup holder or dropped between couch cushions. Hey coin hunters and accidental millionaires. And today we're diving into the wild, unbelievable story of a regular old penny that turned out to be worth more than most sports cars, and even a few houses. Moneybag house with garden. So, before you toss out that handful of change or feed it to the vending machine monster, you might want to stick around. Segment 1. What's so special about the 2007 D. Lincoln penny? Now I know what you're thinking. It's just a penny. But let's talk about what makes this 2007 D. Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny so outrageously valuable. First off, the D stands for the Denver Mint. And while the Denver Mint churns out millions of pennies every year, not all of them come out perfect. And that's the juicy part. This specific 2007 D penny has a combination of rare minting errors and top-tier condition that made collectors drool over it like it was a pizza with extra cheese. Pizza. Meaning Lincoln's face and lettering might look a little doubled. Trippy, right? If the penny looks like it was punched after a few too many drinks, that's a rare one. Little breaks or blobs on the coin where the die was damaged. Ugly? Maybe. But rare? Oh, yeah. And here's the kicker. This particular 2007 D. Lincoln penny was graded by a professional as being in MS69 red condition, which is basically as close to flawless as a penny can get without being dipped in chocolate and handed out by the Queen herself. Okay, let me tell you a quick personal story. About a year ago, I was at a gas station. Bought a soda, got 3 pennies and change. One looked a little shinier than the rest, but me, being in a rush, I tossed it in the tip jar and walked out. That night, I saw a post about a 2007 D penny worth over $1 million. My stomach sank. I had one in my hand. I looked at that penny like it was just a regular oil copper buddy. I tipped away my retirement plan. Loudly crying face. Moral of the story? Check. Your change. Now let's talk value. As of 2025, the last known sale of a pristine, Rare Error 2007 D Lincoln penny hit $1.6 million at auction. That's not monopoly money, that's real dough. Collectors are willing to drop stacks of cash on coins like these because they're incredibly rare. There might only be one or two in that kind of condition with those error types. That's rarer than a polite honk in New York City. Alright, so what have we learned today? That your spare change could be worth way more than a trip to the dollar store. That tipping away a penny could tip away your $1 million moment. And most importantly, that a coin from 2007 could actually change your life. And hey, don't get discouraged if you don't find $1 million penny today. Collecting coins is like treasure hunting. It takes a little patience, a little luck, and a whole lot of curiosity. If you want to learn how to spot valuable coins, avoid rookie mistakes, and maybe even strike it rich from your change jar, hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and tap the notification bell so you never miss out on these money-making tips. 2016 D Lincoln penny. Yep, that copper-colored coin we all ignore, is actually worth a jaw-dropping, mind-blowing, life-changing $1.80 million. Yup. Not a typo. Not clickbait. We're diving into the story of the 2016 D Lincoln 1-cent penny that's shaking up the coin collecting world, and might just be hiding in your couch cushions right now. So stick with me, because I'm about to show you what to look for, what makes this penny so darn valuable, and how you can start spotting $1 million coins in your own pocket change. Alright, let's rewind to 2016. The world was streaming Stranger Things, arguing over that dress, you know the one. Is it blue and black or white and gold? And the Denver Mint was busy stamping out billions of pennies with that little D mint mark under the date. Now, here's the kicker. Among those billions, one specific penny came out, different. And not like. Just a little off. Different, like. Golden ticket to Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. Kind of rare. This particular penny had a near-perfect strike, an incredible double die error, and was made from a rare transitional metal blend. In collector terms, that's like hitting the trifecta. Perfect storm. Lottery ticket in your lint tray. The coin was authenticated, graded, and eventually sold for, brace yourselves, $1.8 million at a private auction. And yes, I know what you're thinking. Wait. I had a 2016 D penny in my car cup holder last week. Trust me, I feel you. I once traded a 2000 Sacagawea dollar for a bag of chips. Turns out that specific one could have been worth a couple thousand because of a meal error. That was the most expensive bag of chips I've ever eaten. So what exactly makes this little coin worth more than a Lamborghini? Let's break it down, simple style. The D means it was minted in Denver. Cool, but not super rare on its own. This is when the coin is struck twice by the die, creating a shadow-like doubling effect, especially noticeable on Lincoln's face, the words Liberty and the date. This is huge. Most 2016 pennies were made of copper-plated zinc. But this rare one? Likely struck using leftover planchets from another metal batch. It's like putting the wrong ingredient into a famous recipe, accidental, but suddenly amazing. This one was in mint state. Think of it like the coin version of being fresh out of the spa with a massage and facial. No scratches, nowhere, just pure shiny perfection. Okay, how do I find one of these bad boys? Great question, my fellow treasure hunter. Magnifying glass tilted left every penny from 2016 with a D mint mark. Magnifying glass tilted left, look for signs of doubling, especially on Liberty and In God We Trust. Magnifying glass tilted left, compare the color and weight to other 2016 D pennies. If it feels heavier or looks oddly colored, that could be your clue. Magnifying glass tilted left if you suspect something. Do not clean the coin. Cleaning can reduce its value by thousands. Just put it in a small bag or case and take it to a professional coin grader. And hey, even if your penny isn't the $1.8 million one, there are others worth hundreds, even thousands, because of errors in grading. So every cent counts. I'll be honest with you. I used to toss my pennies into a jar and forget about them. But ever since I learned that these little copper nuggets can secretly be millionaires in disguise, I've been going full Indiana Jones in my own living room. No joke. Last week I found a 1992 closed AM penny worth over $2,000. All because I stopped and actually looked at my change. So here's your mission, should you choose to accept it. Tonight, grab a flashlight, a magnifying glass, and that dusty coin jar from your closet. Look through every 2016 penny like you're inspecting it for secret treasure. Because, who knows, you just might find it, sparkles, and if you do, I expect at least a shout out when you're on the news holding that $1 million penny. Before you run off to dig through your couch cushions, do me a solid, will ya? Backhand index pointing right, hit that subscribe button for more fun, friendly tips on coins worth serious money. Thumb up, smash that like if you learned something new today. And drop a comment if you've ever found a valuable coin or if you're just starting your coin hunting journey. I'd love to hear your story, and remember, the next time someone says, "It's just a penny," you can smile and say, "Yeah, a $1.8 million one."